Okay, so now we're going to get into the wrist and hand. So like I said, some of the muscles from the elbow also cross over into the forearm. So we will touch on those again. Okay, so brachioradialis. Brachioradialis helps with supination and pronation. Okay, so we had our hammer curl exercises or grip for brachioradialis. Okay, but when we get into the elbow and the wrist and the forearm for it, this is where you're going to be moving the wrist this way. Okay, so rather than doing the curl this way for the elbow, and now we get into the forearm and the wrist, we're going to change where our resistance is going to be. Okay, and so with supination is also supinator. Okay, so supination is kind of turning your hand up to hold that bowl of soup. Okay, so it's going up, whereas pronation is going down. I know you all know this, but I'm just going through just to cover it all. Okay, so supination, isometric exercises. So because we want to try and turn it upwards, I'm going to tuck my elbow in. I'm going to place my hand. I'm going to use my own hand for this purpose. Okay, I'm going to place it behind my wrist because I'm trying to supinate this way. So I'm going to resist turning it up. Okay, so I can go this way so you can see a little bit better. Okay, so I'm trying to go this way and I'm resisting with my own hand. And it's not letting me, okay? So then you can pick different angles, you can do that, okay? When we get to pronation, which is pronator teres, pronator quadratus, and brachioradialis assist as well, now we're trying to flip it down, okay? So this is where I would use my own hand here, and I'm going to push and try and push my hand down, hold it for 10 seconds, and relax. Hold it for 10 seconds, and relax. Okay, so that's your isometrics. These are kind of super simple and easy to go through, so it'll be a lot quicker than the shoulder stuff we did. Okay, so for isotonics, you can use your TheraBand. Okay, so because we're working at the wrist, so let's just say we need to do, you can always do these seated as well. I'm just going to stand. For supination, the resistance has to come from down below because we need to pull it up. Okay, so I'm not moving my whole arm and elbow and I'm not flailing out. It's tucked in. Okay, I have resistance underneath here. I'm going to make it a little bit tighter. What I'm trying to do is pull the resistance up and relax. I'm trying to turn my wrist and down. Turn it up. If you don't like the TheraBand, you can also use the hand weight. Okay, you can start in neutral here, and I'm going to supinate up, back to neutral. Supinate up, back to neutral. You could start fully prone and then supinate. The problem with this in an OP is people kind of do this and they lose kind of what you're supposed to be doing. So I do tell them to start in neutral because it's easier and for them to less likely to make a mistake or an error. Okay, so supination. If we had to pronate, stay in the same position. Now you're going to pronate down, back up, down, back up. So the only thing moving is kind of at my wrist here. Okay, again, you can use your TheraBand. Okay, but now the resistance has to come from the other side because now I need to pull it over. So it would have to be tied or wrapped around your wrist a different way, and now I'd be pulling it this way. Okay, so the resistance comes from the outside of my foot rather than on the inside for supination. So pronation would be here, supination would be here. Okay, so you could use whatever prop you like for those. We're going to stick with those right now for stretches. So stretches, so if it does supination, you know to stretch supinator, you know to go into the opposite action, so you need to pronate. With this, you kind of need to over pronate, so I like to extend everything, and then I create some overpressure and stretch it this way. So I'm stretching supinator by pronating, okay? Holding for my 30 seconds for the OP, 1 to 2 minutes real world.